channel. In today's video, I have an old cookbook for us to flip through. I don't think this book itself is that old, but this is a reprint of a book from 1959 called Betty Crocker, Entertaining with Betty, Party Perfect Every Time. So let's see what's inside. I love the art in this book and the colors. So, yeah, see, it says we're excited to bring you this treasured edition of Betty Crocker's Entertaining with Betty. All recipes are exactly as they appeared in the original 1959 cookbook. See Betty Crocker Cookbook, everything you need to know to cook from scratch 2016 for all the latest food safety information. So this must have come out around or after 2016, but it's a recreation of an older book. Other cookbooks, and they're all like $1. Incredible. And on this page, it's a letter from Betty Crocker. Dear party giver, perhaps you are one of my many friends who has written asking about suggestions for special entertaining. Each week I receive a growing number of letters asking for help. It was a letter from someone I think of as a friend, though I have never met her, that started me on this collection of my replies to those requests. If you answered all of the questions I would like to ask you about how you entertain, you'd have to write a book, she wrote, and I wish you would, a book about all of the details of good taste in the giving of parties, as well as about the good taste of party foods. So here's a book about hospitality and how it can be easy and fun for the hostess as well as the guest. In it are many of my own favorite party recipes, as well as anecdotes telling how my friends planned parties around specialties of their own. I hope you will enjoy them as much as I enjoy happy memories of the good times they bring back to me. Cordially, Betty Crocker. So this is recipes and like etiquette and hosting information. Look at the beautiful art. Oh, so pretty. So remember, this was 1959. The lives of all of us have changed vastly since we watched our parents preparing for the first big party we can remember. With almost without exception, our houses are smaller than those of our parents. Our clothes and manners are far more casual. Our entertaining is less formal. Now, most of us are entertaining more often than we did in the past if we are keeping up with the times. The 5-day week is now standard in virtually all industries. Men have more time for fun and friends. Big modern refrigerators, great variety of frozen, canned, and convenience food, and the new sensible approach to entertaining make hospitality easier than ever. It's so cool to look back and see things like that put us in context of the past. Planning your party. I love all the different colors that they used. What? When is the telephone best for invitations? What do you do about guests with special diet problems? Should I mention the others I'm inviting to a party? Does the wife always give the invitation to a party? Except when a bachelor's host invitations always are given by the hostess, or in her name and are addressed to the other women involved even if they have not met. How far in advance should I give an invitation? At least a week in advance of lunch or dinner as usual. 10 days to 3 weeks is safer. Wow. Dear Betty, Jack and I hope you and Joe will come to brunch on Sunday, July 14th at 12:30 right after church. Bring the children. The youngsters are going to have a hot dog roast in the garden while the rest of us have a buffet on the porch. Wow. It's a different, much more formal time, it seems like. Bob and I so enjoyed our talk with you and Mr. Jones about Quebec. We hope you can come to dinner on Thursday and meet some friends who also know Canada well. So invitations written on an engraved card usually indicate a fairly large guest list. Wow. When an invitation is given to a couple, both are expected to refuse if one happens to be otherwise engaged, especially if that one is the husband. It is disconcerting to a hostess, who may be having her troubles finding enough men anyway to hear, Bill has a committee dinner that night, but I'd love to come. Common sense is the best guide to the shaking of hands or not. Guests being introduced across a room need bow only. The guest who is being introduced waits for the other to offer a hand. They're very specific about how to behave in different situations. Old food. I love pictures of old pictures of food like this in cookbooks. I don't know what it is about them, but they always have this very, specific lighting that you don't see anymore, and, the food always looks a little kind of gross by our standards today. And I love seeing, all the nostalgic, table settings and decor around the food. And sometimes the recipes are interesting, things you don't really see made anymore. Remembrance fruitcake, example A. Is anybody making fruitcakes these days? I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had homemade fruitcake. I do like fruitcake though, so I bet it's good. Look at this. Oh, beautiful. I love the colors. Flaming chicken with what's around it? Mandarin oranges, Bing cherries, curried shrimp. Oh, look at the light, the candlesticks. Baked ham with Washington cherry glaze. Look at the cherries on top of the ham. That's vintage. Baked squash. Sauce for baked squash. Hot biscuits. Buttered broccoli. Yum. Dinner parties. I just love every page has so much to look at in terms of pictures. Green leaf canapes, canapé cream they putting in their guacamole? Here is a recipe for a dip borrowed from Mexico. It is pronounced guacamole and should be served with chips or crackers. This was before the days of avocado toast taking over. Guacamole is definitely more popular today, I think. Okay, what are they putting in it? Avocado, lemon juice, salt, grated onion, either chopped tomato, crumbled Roquefort cheese, curry powder, chili powder, Worcestershire sauce, or Tabasco sauce may be added. No, guys, you're doing too much. You don't need all that. We don't need Worcestershire sauce and Roquefort cheese and curry powder. I've never heard of that. Chili dip. It'd be fun to try some of these old recipes, I think, and see how they turn out. I love that mermaid. Appetizers, sauteed almonds, mulled cider. That sounds like it would be good. Small dinners. So here's like some etiquette information about it. How you put it together. Alright, here is some examples of well-planned menus for small dinners. Chilled asparagus dips with mayonnaise. Ugh, gross. Parmesan oven fried chicken. Olive creamed potatoes. Platter of tomato slices with chilled ripe olives. Warm crescent rolls. Crescent rolls always make me think of my grandma. This might have been a book that my grandma would have liked to have. She loved to entertain. And she was born in the 30s. So this might have been around the time where she was starting a home and learning to entertain. Maybe a little late for her. She probably already knew a lot of this by the time this book came out, but I wonder if this is something she would have been able to relate to, this book. Alright. Chilled tomato and cucumber soup, stuffed pork chops, julienne green beans with smoky salt, baked apple rings, Parker house rolls, gay 90s Charlotte Russe, coffee, relish tray, roast prime ribs of beef, parsley buttered potatoes, Italian broccoli, hot dinner rolls, French silk chocolate puffs, coffee. Those sound like that's a lot of food. And this is supposed to be a small dinner for a small dinner party. They made sure that you were well fed. Avocado mousse. Interesting. In Western states, salad is often served as a first course. Isn't that interesting? There was a difference between Eastern and Western. Chilled tomato cucumber soup with curry powder and canned tomato soup and buttermilk. Okay. Fishy swaz with frozen cream of potato soup, a can of milk, and a can of light cream. Interesting. Main courses. Oh, hearts of palm salad. Delightful either with a meal or as a first course, this delicacy comes in cans from South America and the Philippines. Split the tender stalks or cut them in rounds. Serve on lettuce garnished with orange slices and French dressing. That seems like a really vintage recipe too. I don't know anybody serving hearts of palm salad these days. It's a beautiful sketch. also just the words, this delicacy comes in cans. I don't really hear that a lot these days either. Italian broccoli. So it's frozen broccoli, cooked until almost tender, drained, add in olive oil, sprinkle with Parmesan cheese. Sounds good. Apricot mousse supreme. First ingredient is gelatin. Baked Alaska angel food cake. After dinner coffee. Buffet dinners. Water usually is not served with a buffet meal. Wow. Stuffing. What's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. Lasagna. Smorgasbord. This sounds like charcuterie board today. One of the best ways I know to please a large crowd is a smorgasbord. In Scandinavian countries, the smorgasbord is a prelude to a meal, but here in America we often see it served as a complete dinner. Interesting. So they're saying that your guests choose a first course from like a set of different appetizer dishes, like stuffed eggs, cottage cheese, celery with cheese, pickled beets. Then you need good bread, different kinds of bread, arranged attractively with some butter on the side. Then the main course, guests come back for helpings of meatloaf, poached salmon and mayonnaise, sliced smoked tongue, jellied chicken, head cheese, potato macaroni or cooked vegetable salad. There should also be a choice of light salads such as sliced cucumbers, tossed green, sliced tomatoes, and tomato aspic, and of course a large crystal bowl of Swedish fruit soup. If you want one or two hot dishes, Swedish meatballs and gravy and brown beans are good. A suitable third course is a molded fruit gelatin and an assortment of cheeses. Root beer and coffee are also served. I can't help but think that if you went to a dinner party today and you had this put in front of you, it would be a very strange experience. But this was in a different time, and I love seeing how things were in the past. And I love this artwork at the top. Vegetables. Salads. Spiced peach fruit mold. That sounds good. Herb loaf, Andama batter bread. K90 is Charlotte Russe. I don't know what that is, but it involves angel food cake and vanilla Bavarian cream. So it sounds good. Potluck dinners. Maggie's butternut cake filling. Ooh, that sounds good. Midnight suppers. Fruitcake. Wheaties nougat bars. Stag parties. Even if the hostess does not appear at all on an evening that the man of the house is devoting to his male friends, her hospitality is happily evident if refreshments are planned and prepared in advance. Quite often the hostess is briefly on hand to welcome her husband's friends, and then just as often she leaves early for a visit in the neighborhood or a movie. And in either case, the evening is off to a good start, if simple, hearty, and easy to serve refreshments are waiting for the men to find for themselves when they are ready. It's better to leave behind simple fare than to stir around the edges of such a party concocting a feast. This is what made me laugh earlier. Men like the idea that they are foraging for themselves. They can still have the fun of raiding the refrigerator, but without confusion. If plates, napkins, silver, mustard, relishes, and anything else that can wait without damage are set out on a sideboard or table. Because they can't apparently find what they need in the kitchen themselves. This is what they suggest, that the hostess leaves out for them before she leaves and gets out of their way. A baked ham, a big wedge of cheese under a cover, a loaf of rye bread, and a cake, with proper knives ready for carving and cutting, is a sensible choice. So is a chicken or veal loaf or a platter of cold cuts with olives, stuffed eggs, and pickles. Or the makings of hero or poor boy sandwiches, assembled on serving plates. A potato salad. One hot dish is an especially good thought for a winter night, like homemade baked beans. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, that is hard for me to imagine. Being expected to prepare and leave out a baked ham, a cake, homemade beans, all of this food and everything required to serve it, and food that you made for them, and then go leave. This whole thing is making me shake my head. Oh my goodness. Things have changed since then, and I'm glad for that. Most men, also, what is this about most men? Like the idea that they're foraging for themselves. So, you should give them, like, this is supposed to make them feel like they're foraging. Most men have a weakness for chocolate cake. So do women and children, for that matter. Yeah, that's true. Oh, that does make me want some chocolate cake. Lunches. Oh, listen to this. A midweek lunch usually is a party for women. Weekend lunch parties for both men and women are growing in popularity, though these are often called brunch and are rather more akin to lunch than to the midday Sunday dinner that was a standard social event for our grandparents. It's interesting to think about how events like that have changed over time. And brunch has turned into something totally different now. Canadian cheese soup. Potato, onion, carrot, celery, water, chicken broth, cheddar cheese, cream, and parsley. That's probably really good. Though I'd probably call it potato soup. Cream of almond soup. I wonder what that tastes like. Elegant sandwich loaf. Pictured on page 139. Alright, let's look. What is does this sandwich loaf look like? Where's 139? I think I'm missing it. Yep. What is this? 33, 5, 6, 7. Oh, here's the elegant sandwich loaf. Wow, okay, that's not what I thought. It's like a cake. It looks like a cake, but the inside, I guess it's savory. So what is it frosted with? Here's your sandwich. What is it frosted with? Mayonnaise. Oh gosh. What? Oh no, okay. Top with second buttered bread slice spread it with cheese pecan filling, which is mostly cream cheese based. Top with remaining bread slice. Coat the top and sides of the loaf with the following frosting made out of cream cheese, dyed green, and then garnished with. So this is just covered in cream cheese. That's so much cream cheese. Oh man, I'm so curious what this would taste like. And then this is suggesting that you fill it with shrimp salad. Okay. On a warm day, a cold mousse of salmon, turkey, or tuna, or a jellied chicken loaf is a pretty and tempting sight on a big platter. What is jellied chicken? I think that's the third time we've seen that in this book, and it sounds weird. Jellied chicken. Maybe it's good. I would try it. I would try jellied chicken. I like chicken, and I like jelly. I've always been curious about those retro, like Jello mold recipes, or like aspics, where they have savory stuff that they put in a Jello mold. I've always been curious how they try it. I don't really expect them to be that yummy. Berry basket cake. Oh, that's probably really good. Teas. I just love these old food pictures. They just make me feel so warm and cozy inside when I look at them. That's cool. The frosting leaves. Berry basket cake, yeah, that sounds so good. Fruit crown ring, that's pretty. Chocolate meringue tort. Cane, oh, that's the Charlotte Russe. That looks very interesting. I bet that's good. I like the colors. Lasagna. Chocolate orange tea drops. Oh, I bet those are good. Pink azalea cake. Tea bags are not used at a tea party. They have their useful place at family meals, when one or two members only want a quick hot drink, but they are not used at parties with any pretension to formality. The hostess serves one cup at a time, since the rule is that tea is passed directly from the hand of the pourer to the guest. This convention came about because tea cools quickly. Punch recipes. Grape juice crush. Party punch. Brunch. I kind of think it'd be fun to have punch at a party, like homemade punch. Butterball coffee cake. Well, you know that is going to be good if it has the word butterball in it. Barbecues. spiadini. What is that? French bread with mozzarella cheese and little bits of anchovy. House parties. Cool. Well, this was very interesting. I'm gonna have to do a deeper read into it. I did not look at this before I filmed this, so I just wanted to do a quick flip through of it with you today. But I'd love to know your thoughts on this book, and thank you for watching, and I hope this brought some